Welcome to Dark City.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
Whoa.
He's tuning.
He's tuning. Thank you for tuning in to Lost
Yeah.
Legacies. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
Geez, I wonder what movie we're talking about today.
Oh, you
Uh,
know.
yeah. Thank you everyone for coming back. What do we miss? What's
I don't know. I feel like nothing's new, really. Uh, well, I guess like early release of or early reviews for the Odyssey are come in. People seem to like it.
Yeah, the Odyssey seems to be everyone's seeming to like it. They're really saying like it really is an epic, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like all right. Um
I haven't seen too many people saying like anything like negative about it or anything, although
yeah.
a couple of people did mention the fact that like they felt like like when they walked out, it felt like they had just been in like a history lecture.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that's just coming down to like preference, you know,
Yeah.
or something. But yeah, we'll see. I'm probably gonna catch it sooner rather than later. So, you know.
Everyone's saying you need to see it on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah.
Damn. So,
Yeah.
no. Cool. I want to watch it. You know, I think I'll see it
Hmm.
eventually. Um, I don't know. The only movie I'm really looking forward to is Spider-Man right now.
Mm.
You know, that looks like it's going to be fun.
Hmm.
But I'm not really like I'm not too sure what else is coming up, you know? What's in
They
the
they just released a trailer for a new Paul Greengrass movie called The Uprising
Oh
with
yeah, that looks
Andrew
good.
Garfield. Yeah, I saw the trailer
Hmm.
earlier. That looks interesting.
Yeah.
And that's a name, you haven't heard in a while, Paul Greengrass.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So, I don't know. It, yeah.
Because I'm even thinking like horror movies. Like I feel like what else is coming out this year other than Avengers? Like,
Well, Dune. Dune comes out at the end of the year too.
oh wow, already?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
that's
doing
right.
that.
Dune and Avengers.
Yeah. And I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think they come out the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
this is going to be what do we call this? What do we call this event?
ooh,
A Dungers.
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, that kind of like forecasts the outcome of these
Yeah.
two movies.
Yeah.
Uh, have you heard of anything from Comic-Con? Weren't they like doing Marvel stuff this week?
I don't well, that probably won't start until like today or tomorrow.
Oh, is it this weekend?
I think well, I don't know. I don't know when Comic-Con is.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, because you
Hmm.
usually like they start doing stuff like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
that
really
makes
get
sense.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Okay.
so yeah, and honestly I think it is just like Friday, Saturday. Um
Well,
so yeah, well I
looking
guess
forward to it.
yeah.
I haven't seen The Mandalorian Grogu, but everyone I've heard talk about it did not like it. They're like they just basically turned an episode and
They turned like four episodes, yeah, into a
put it onto a
movie.
big screen. I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I'm like,
So,
well,
okay.
surprisingly enough, and I'm glad you brought that up, we're getting another Star Wars movie this year.
Are we?
So remember how I'm always talking about Star Wars Visions?
Uh-huh.
And so Star Wars Visions, the different like anime companies coming together, like
Hmm.
making just original stuff, kind of free from constraints. One of those is getting a feature film.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
I don't know if it's actually going to be released in theaters or if it's just dropping onto Hulu/Disney Plus.
Hmm.
But it is the story of the Ninth Jedi,
Hmm.
which uh I'll try not to get into too spoilery territory, but it's it's post like this golden age of the Jedi. The Jedi are sort of extinct, and it follows the daughter of a sabersmith.
Hmm.
He's tasked with mining kyber crystals and building lightsabers for Jedi, and he's commissioned by this mysterious person who's inviting all of these Jedi to his palace in space. And of course, you're like, this sounds like a trick, and it kind
Hmm.
of is. But
Hmm.
that's why you have to go and watch it. So
Interesting.
yeah, that was my favorite from season one of Visions. It then got a sequel in season three, and now they're continuing the story of the Ninth Jedi in a feature film.
So wasn't Vision supposed to be like non-canon?
Yeah,
So is this movie going to be canon?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. Uh,
I that's
uh,
always kind of like irked me. I don't like projects that aren't considered quote unquote canon because I'm
yeah.
like, well, like why don't y'all just make it part of like this ever evolving, breathing world that you're creating, you
That
know?
yeah, yeah. That was
So,
that was my thing too. It's interesting because I feel like you could set this at any point. I feel like if you
mhm,
if you just made this story set during like the High Republic, I
mhm.
feel like it would be fine. Or even if you did it like
You can put it anywhere.
yeah, you could put it
Like
anywhere.
for this, all I know about is what you've told me. But I'm like, there's so much in like empty space in the Star Wars timeline. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
like, huh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
And like
yeah.
stuff like Marvel, now that they're doing the multiverse, technically, what if is all canon because those are happening in other universes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm
Yeah.
like, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm on two minds about it, but I'm leaning more towards the side of like I kind of don't care. Like I think I was more obsessed with canon and everything being part of the canon, when I was younger, especially when it came to Marvel,
Hmm.
which is why I didn't like how they just kind of retroactively said that like, oh no, all of the Marvel movies that have ever existed, it's all MCU now. And I'm like, no, they're not all MCU because the MCU is different from other stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I think within that there is a leeway for those projects.
Hmm.
But then you get stuff like the Batman. It's like, where does this exist? It came out, it was
Right.
still during the DCEU period, but it
Hmm.
wasn't it wasn't, part of that universe. And supposedly it's still not part of James Gunn's universe. So
Yeah.
it's like, so where does this exist? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, for my money, I feel like they should just make it part of the new universe and call it a day. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so I don't know. Like with this Star Wars thing, it's interesting because like there's so much of Star Wars that has been made like non-canonical over
Hmm.
the years that it's like I kind of just don't care at this point.
Right.
Like for me, my canon is whatever I'm enjoying, you
Sure.
know. Whatever sounds cool, whatever I dig, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my mindset with Star Wars, period.
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
care. So I don't know, but that's the kind of stuff that like I really want from Star Wars
Mm,
lore. I want to delve into the mythology and stuff.
mm.
So yeah, I don't know. I it's kind of interesting because I know we're just kind of like going off here, but last week we talked about One Battle After Another, and I think I definitely enjoyed it more than you.
Hmm.
And I still enjoyed it, but now that I've had a couple days to think about it post our conversation, I was just kind of thinking, you know what? Like I'm still kind of the mindset that like I can appreciate what it tried to do. I do agree with what you're saying, how like it didn't really have a stance, and I'm
Mm,
not really sure what it was trying to say about the politics that it was bringing up.
mm.
And I was just thinking about it literally today. I'm like, you know what? Like that movie didn't do anything that Andor didn't do better, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I'm you have to. I don't know. I'm not good. I don't want to talk about that movie for a whole other episode. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
speaking of Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, Andor really took a swing and they really took a stance, and it's easily the best thing that's come out of Star Wars, maybe ever.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I I and I didn't want to say that like during the episode proper.
Hmm.
Um even though that is like pretty much how I felt about it, especially like thinking back to like our discussions with season 2 and just at different points. Um and I also just didn't want to be the guy who's just like, oh, I'm kind of a chubby dude who's like, yeah, no, I think Andor did this political story better, it's like I don't want to come off as that kind of person. Uh
What does Chubby
I
have to
don't
do for it?
I don't know, man, because look, we're two dudes who talk about movies on a podcast. Like, what are we adding to that conversation,
Sure,
But
sure.
so yeah, like yeah,
Yeah,
and
dude, our opinions don't matter because we're chubby, you know?
well,
Wow.
yeah, well, no, but like I don't want to. Yeah, I guess I invalidated my own opinion on that. I'm going through stuff. Leave me alone. But no, like it was just an odd feeling that like this movie that everybody was losing their minds over was like, oh,
Hmm.
it's winning Oscars, everyone's hailing it as like it's such this revolutionary movie, and I'm sitting here on the couch being like, I'm sorry, but like the show on Disney Plus that has robots and the occasional goofy looking alien
Yeah,
kind of did a political story so much better
yeah,
than this movie that has all of these very very well trained actors
sure.
doing all this stuff, and it's like, and they have well trained actors too, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it just felt a little weird and brain breaking, which is why I didn't want to bring it up.
Hmm.
uh but to your point, I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, all
Oh
right.
well.
Yeah. Um, oh man, I was gonna try and make a cool segue, but I can't think of one. Speaking
Speaking of brain
of
breaking,
brain breaking, yeah.
yeah,
We're talking about now, how do you say this director's name?
Alex Proyas, I believe that's how you say his name.
Alex Proyas. We were talking about Alex Proyas's 1999, no, 1998 cult hit Dark City, the
Hmm.
director's cut.
Yes.
Now, usually, since this was on my list, I let you go first, but since you've
Hmm.
seen it before, I think I'm just gonna go first because this was my first foray into
Definitely. Yeah.
the Dark City. Um, Cool movie, dude. Super cool. This is really
Right.
rad. But like I kind of hesitated when I said cult hit because like I always knew that there's a fandom for this out there,
Hmm.
but now after seeing it, it's like, wow, I really don't hear about this movie a lot. I don't
Yeah.
really see a lot of it. And
Yeah.
like I don't know why, because this was a really cool movie. Um, I think part of it, and I kind of read a little bit about it, behind the scenes and stuff. A big part of it was this was uh like a year before The Matrix.
Hmm.
So The Matrix kind of took a lot of the I feel like a lot of the same fans, the same audience. Um
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Well, and
but yeah.
also like when you think of it in terms of like, two movies that have a very similar premise of finding out reality is not what you believe it to be.
Hmm.
Um, one of those is presented as this very like dark, seedy noir, and the other one posits that story with like at the time unseen like anime style action,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think like and I think even everybody who worked on this project kind of knew what they were doing wasn't going to be as much of a mass appeal to everybody. And that
Yeah.
was kind of the headspace everybody was in. They're just like, we're just gonna do it anyway. Like
Hmm.
there's so much of Proyas like talking to executives about like I don't want to dumb it down. I don't want to do, this or that,
Yeah.
and audiences like not getting it and him having to kind of like cave for the theatrical cut.
Yeah. So
They
have you seen the theatrical cut?
I've seen parts of it and I think I saw
Hmm.
parts of it on TV. Um, but I don't think I've ever seen the full thing. I just
Hmm.
knew that the biggest change was there's an opening narration
Hmm.
um with Kiefer Sutherland's character
Hmm.
um, that basically tells you what's going on.
Hmm.
That like there's a group of aliens that took us up into space. They're dying. They think that they can find the human soul, to save themselves. Like
Yeah.
to basically just spill it out for the audience. Um, and it's interesting because Proyas has even said, and I think a lot of people have said that like because it's done so well and has found life like on back then on video and then DVD and now Blu-ray, it's like they're saying that because like it was so like it's found such a crowd now that there is kind of the thought that like maybe we should have just released this version of the movie back then,
Yeah.
instead of having to like cut scenes and do all these other things just to
Right.
appeal to test audiences.
And I guess I don't know, maybe it's making a comeback because like I feel like this is a movie I can never find because I've tried to watch
Hmm.
it before.
Yeah.
But now with sites like Tubi, it's available.
Hmm.
But also like I rented this off of Amazon
Mm.
because it that was the only place I could find where it specifically said director's cut. I was like, okay.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
But then also like when I was Googling it to watch it last night. It popped up on Netflix and it says
Hmm.
set reminder. So I guess it's coming to Netflix soon.
Oh,
I
interesting.
was like, wow, okay, so maybe I don't know, something happened, something changed, and now it's available on streaming or it's about to be. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm like, that's crazy.
that is crazy.
So
Yeah.
uh there's also we'll talk about it after the pod, but there's another movie I've been dying to see, which is available now on streaming. I was like, oh crap.
Ooh.
I haven't been able to find this movie for a long time, so
Okay.
I have to
Okay.
check this out. Um, yeah, as for the movie itself, dude, wild, wild. Uh,
Hmm.
I could kind of see how Proyas is now all in on the AI train because watching
Yeah.
this, I was like, dude, this feels like an AI movie. Like, this is just so bizarre, so weird.
Hmm.
Um, and like, I think something that's really cool about this. So, like, I don't know, halfway through the movie, there comes a point where I'm thinking, I was like, damn, this movie is so like deep and so I don't know what the word. It's like a puzzle, it's like you're
Hmm.
lost in a maze. It's so intricate. I was thinking, damn, there's going to be some crazy twist at the end which changes everything and makes everything make sense, or it's just going to be so open-ended and we're not going to get any answers.
Hmm.
Neither of those things happened.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like afterwards, once the movie's over, I'm like, oh, the actual plot was pretty simple. The
Yeah.
mystery was pretty simple. And like, I'm kind of really impressed how they made this simple story. I don't want to call it little story, but it's nowhere near as complex as you think when you're in the mystery trying to figure it out. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And we know just enough for it to make sense. I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, totally buy it. I'm like, how the hell did they take us on that? It's like we went the long way round to get to the center of the maze. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I think that's kind of what we were talking about with what movie did we just watch?
The nice guys.
Yeah, The Nice Guys. And we mentioned Dirk Gently, how like
Mm.
there's all these little things that are seeds for later and they pay off later. Unlike
Yeah.
other things we have watched where it's just like, that kind of went nowhere. You know, this was just a red herring, which I'm not opposed to red herrings, but it's just like, you gotta do it well. You know,
Hmm.
I think a lot of the weaker parts of Lost was stuff like that, where you have these little ancillary things which seem really cool, but essentially signify nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
You
kind
know,
of.
the what was the things will be different, right? Is
Oh,
that what that was
yeah,
called?
yeah,
I feel like that was kind of full of stuff where it's just like, I kind of feel like that was just for flavor or style, you know.
yeah.
So this is like,
Which you don't really get on like the first run, but like watching it a second time for me was like, oh no, I get it. Yeah,
well, that's
yeah,
kind of the point I'm making. Like, there's all these little stuff that you think are going to be important, and then they just, it's just there for fluff, you know.
yeah.
Whereas this movie, Dirk Gently, Nice Guys, it's all there for a reason, you know,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
usually it all pays off. And like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So I'm impressed that they were able to do that with such like a simple plot,
Hmm.
but they just blew the concept up and they just went wild with it.
I think it's because the mystery took precedent.
Yeah.
Like the actual writing of it as a mystery, you know,
Hmm.
where something like Things Will Be Different isn't necessarily that. It's more a crime family drama, you know, that happens to
Yeah.
have this weird time travel edge.
They
Um
made the mistake of putting character first. Oh
Oh
no.
no! A dozen screenwriters just threw
Yeah.
themselves on the floor.
Well, but
Um
this movie too, like, it's kind of interesting because it's an interesting way to tackle that problem when you
mhm,
make your main character have amnesia, you know,
mhm.
where the character of this man is not even sure of who he is, so the
Yeah.
audience doesn't know. Um, yeah, well, I gotta go get some water. Keep talking, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, and it's interesting too because um so I was watching the behind the scenes and um yeah, they were saying that the the ideas and more of like the visual language for the movie came first. Um because Alex Proyas had kind of had this idea in college back when he was like in film school, but he really started coming up with more of the concept while he was filming The Crow. And he said that
Makes sense.
it was because it was in between shooting and they were like rearranging and pulling like pieces of the set away and rearranging and moving it around and like he started
Mhm.
getting like that as sort of like a visual idea. Um, but he didn't really have a whole lot to go on, so he just compiled all of his notes and talked to one of the screenwriters, um, Lem Dobbs. He like kind of like cold called him and was like, "Hey, like I've got like I like your work and I kind of like have an idea for something." And he kind of just sent a lot of like visual stuff. And Dobbs
Mhm.
was saying how like he's never been approached to write a film this way. You know, usually it's like, oh, like the writers want to write this, and so, you know, then we're doing this, or they have a director in mind for the movie and now they need somebody to bring that, you know, to life. Whereas this was like, this is a filmmaker who's thinking of how this looks first and
Mm.
story second.
Yeah.
And so Lamb came on and started like, okay, like, well, you know, as a friend, you know, as a friend to a friend, like this is a little cliche. Do we want to keep that in? You know, oh,
Hmm.
okay, cool, like great. And then so yeah, they really started forming this through that lens of the mystery. Like
Hmm.
always knowing that it was a bigger science fiction thing going on, but the core thing about it needed to be the mystery.
Right.
Um, and I think that is also an interesting way to approach it because, like, it kind of sounds similar to how, like, you and I used to come up with stories. How I was like, oh, like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, you have like this going off, and like, oh, like, you know, it's that thing. Like, anytime we like find like a cool abandoned structure or whatever, the first thing that pops in my mind is like, you know, it'd be cool if we had a sword fight here.
Hmm. Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
I build the story backwards, you know, so that it's like, how
Yeah.
do we get to the sword fight, that climactic sword fight? Because that's kind of how this movie felt like it was made. Um, which then kind of makes sense because then you start to see that like a lot of this feels it's both inspired by, like these older noirs, but it is also very trope heavy.
Hmm.
And I think that is also kind of the point because these aliens don't understand people. And so they've taken people and taken, structures and ideas. And so it is this very like anachronistic, like 40s-ish city.
Hmm.
But then they're almost like sometimes they're playing like modern music. I think they kind of switched the genre of music that Jennifer Connelly is
Hmm.
singing, you know. Um, and then nothing has a name, things are just
Yeah.
hotel. It's Avenue C, Avenue M. Like there's no, it's Shell Beach because like, well, there's any
Yeah.
beach, like there's a Shell Beach. Like,
We
yeah.
we just talked about this off pod,
Hmm.
but one of my favorite Star Trek episodes,
I was
the
thinking about that.
Royale.
Yeah.
So, listeners, in the Royale, this is early Star Trek Next Generation when it was still like wasn't that great, you know.
Mm.
They were still it was still too tied to the original series. They hadn't really modernized yet. And this is one of those examples where this really felt like an original series, like Kirk, Spock, and McCoy episode. But
Hmm.
essentially, they go down to this planet. It's all black. They can't see anything, but there's this revolving door. When they go through the door, it's this casino, like a modern Earth casino. And so they start going around and like they start realizing like there's like gangsters here, there's like a cowboy, it's just very trope heavy.
Hmm.
And essentially they find out that there's a dead astronaut in one of the like the hotel rooms. They find his body, he's just like a skeleton. And it turns out this alien race finds this astronaut in space, uh like essentially abducts him, and then they
Hmm.
realize like, oh my god, we can't take care of this guy, he's gonna die, and they feel really bad.
Hmm.
Well, on his person he had this sleazy casino novel, this crime novel. So the aliens, thinking that that's what his world is like, they
Hmm.
rebuild his world in this sleazy crime infested casino because they're like, we can't take this guy home, but we'll recreate it. We
Yeah.
have an instruction manual right here. So in the same way, it's kind of like what you're saying. Like, sure, there's a lot of tropes in this, but it's like you're right. It's because the strangers, they don't know what it's like to be human. They don't know how or why things work. So they're
Yeah.
kind of just grabbing the tropes and like not understanding the context and just throwing them in there. It's like,
Hmm.
dang. I'm like, that's really cool. So yeah, it reminds me, go watch that Star Trek episode. It's a fun one. That's where
Yeah.
Data learns how to play cards. He learns how to gamble.
I love that.
Um, yeah. So yeah, and a big part of that episode is they can't escape, they can't leave
Mm.
until and they find out you have to play the story out. So once the
Hmm.
novel ends, that's how they're able. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. All
That is
right,
cool.
it's cheesy, it's not that great, but it was fun and it kind of reminded me of this.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, man. I'm okay with being the focus being the style over the substance, as
Hmm.
long as the style is really damn cool, you know. Because
Yeah.
I think back to The Keep, and I'm like,
Mm.
the style of that movie wasn't enough to carry it because it
Hmm.
was really lacking some substance, which sucks because there was a lot of substance there. It just didn't really make sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like that wasn't enough. It wasn't cool enough to carry that film. Whereas this, we don't have to worry about it because like the substance, it's just enough of it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and the mystery is so cool. Like you're really intrigued. You want to know what's going on.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know how I would have felt about it if I had known what it was about. Like, oh, they're trying to find the human soul and all that stuff. But at the same time, that doesn't really play a big part into the movie, because it's really this one guy's story. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it kind of doesn't matter why the strangers are doing it. It's just that they are.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That was that was interesting to me where it was like, oh, they're really like focusing on that with that like opening narration. Because yeah,
Hmm.
like for the most part, you're like they're just trying to figure out why this dude can, knows things and why he can do the things they can,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And so that becomes most of the movie until you get to that certain point where they're like, oh yeah, well, they're this is our whole kind of thing. And
Yeah.
even then, like they are presented as the antagonists, but they're also not villains, really, you know? Like
Right.
not
They're killing
traditionally,
people, but
Yeah, but even then, like they're not necessarily killing people because John is. Because in this scenario that they're having John play out, he's a serial killer, you know? So like, well, I guess they technically had to like set that up, because
yeah, because like he doesn't actually kill anyone.
yeah, that's
He
true. That's
just he
true.
just yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and well, here's something I am curious about. Like, so like the dead hookers,
Hmm.
did they eventually become strangers because they use the bodies of the dead,
Probably.
or are they able to reset like a dead person?
I don't think they can.
Right? We don't get any indication that they can.
Yeah. I think that
Interesting.
one line where they said they use the dead, they use the
Yeah.
bodies of the dead. So it's like I think that's it then. Also
Yeah.
because, these bald-headed, freaky guys right behind Matt here, like
Hmm.
those also aren't the aliens. The aliens are like the little weird
It's
CG
inside.
blob
Yeah.
lobsters in their head.
Yeah.
Um so
It was cool to see like Uncle Frank back as a different person on the bus at the end, you know,
oh yeah, Uncle
and
Carl.
the Uncle Carl. Yeah. Who's Uncle Frank?
Oh.
Um, no, that's his name now. That's the new guy. He's Uncle Frank now. But yeah, there's like it was really cool. There's that moment where like we kind of get a montage of what everyone's doing, and then we get that random family, that couple just eating dinner, kind of
Hmm.
complaining to each other, and then they fall asleep in their soup. And then we see the process, the transformation. They set everything up, and then we see it continue, and they're all kind of posh and they're rich, and
Hmm.
they in the mansion. Now I'm like, oh, okay, that was a cool payoff. I'm like, because I was wondering, like, that's a weird scene. I guess they're just kind of setting it up. We already know we're gonna see them pass out, but
Yeah,
then to
yeah.
actually see how they change, I was like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
that's cool. That's really cool. Um, yeah, man, this is a mind boggler.
Yeah.
Uh, I love like all the actors were great. Rufus Sewell, is that how
Hmm.
you say it?
Hmm.
Um, awesome. Like he fits this noir type perfectly. That wallpaper you have is awesome. Uh,
Right.
William Hurt, dude, like he was
He's
kind of my
good.
favorite in this movie.
Yeah.
Like I love the idea, and I do know this was Proyas's like original concept, like the story of a detective who can't figure out the case even because the clues aren't leading to anything. It's
Yeah.
making less sense the more he figures out. And I'm like, dude, that was pretty cool. I really liked him.
Hmm.
Uh Bummer about his character. R.I.P. William Hurt.
Yeah.
Um Jennifer Connelly, awesome. She did good.
Hmm.
Uh dang, dude. Yeah.
Especially too, like they said in the behind the scenes, the uh like everybody was game.
Yeah.
Like everybody was on board. Actually, like William Hurt, Proyas said that William Hurt actually knew more about this world than he did, because he
Mm,
just immediately came on and he was tuned to everything. Like he's just like, yeah,
dude.
no, like I understand that. Like I get what's going on. He asked for those lines that he has when he like finds his the other detective's office in the police station,
Uh-huh.
because I think they were just gonna have him open the door and just kind of like look around and see everything. So he
Yeah.
asked, he was just like, I kind of feel like I need something. Like, can I have a couple of lines written and I'll like we can choose the best ones.
Hmm.
So one of the screenwriters went in, like wrote a couple of lines, sent them over, and the next morning William Hurt was like, "Great, I love them. I'm gonna say them all."
Hmm.
Like, oh cool, like, so yeah,
Yeah.
he really like dug this character, he dug the world that was being built
Dude, and
around
he
him.
looked so cool in the suit and his hat. He
His
had the
hat,
coolest hat, dude. And
yeah.
like, there's the one shot after he talks to the doctor where he just walks off and you just see like his shadow. I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, man. I'm like, not a cool world, but aesthetically, it's very cool.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I will say this though, as much as I did enjoy this movie, I think its biggest uh, hurdle,
Hmm.
maybe even weakest link, was the directing. Because there were
Mm.
certain things that uh certain cuts, which I mean that could be editor as well, but I'm like there's certain cuts where I'm like, oh, that was a weird place. That was a weird place to put that cut or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um and also when you do director's cut, I don't know what's being added back in. You know, some movies are notorious for doing that. Like even though it's the director's cut, it's
Hmm.
it's a little more messy than theatrical.
Yeah.
I know Kingdom of Heaven is like that big time.
Mm.
But yeah, but I don't know, just certain things and like there was one shot that it kind of ticked me off, but it's that moment after William Hurt and the doctor split up and John is following the doctor, right? And you see it's one shot. You see Kiefer Sutherland walk towards the camera and walk out, and here comes
Hmm.
John. He walks towards the camera and looks, and he starts to turn, and you see another guy walk across the bridge above
Hmm.
him,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but the camera just follows John and keeps going. I'm like, no, dude, that's supposed to be Kiefer Sutherland. He walks out of the shot and he pops up there. That's what this world is, you know? It
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of what's that? The artist who has like he'll paint the upside down stairs.
Oh, MC Escher.
MC Escher. Kind of reminded me of
Yeah.
something like that. Especially because the doctor is the one person who's kind of immune to the changing world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Um, Speaking of Kiefer Sutherland, I don't know if I really enjoyed him in this. I don't know if he was miscast.
I'm also confused about that.
I feel like I know he like I read it, but I think you just said it where he thought that they wanted his father instead of him when he got the script. Did you see
Oh
that?
yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
no, I didn't say that, but
Okay.
but
I'm
yeah,
just
I read that
remembering last
too.
night. Yeah. But yeah, he's like, "Are you sure you don't want my father?" Because yeah, it definitely seems like it's a role for someone older. And I'm like, I
Hmm.
wonder why they went with Kiefer Sutherland. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it should have been someone older. And like to me, kind of the weakest part of the movie was the climax. The whole
Oh,
final. It's
definitely.
hard to do a fight scene, a climactic scene where your actors are just looking at each other.
Audiences, if you're just listening to this, Matt and I are staring very intently at each other, almost with faces that look like they have explosive diarrhea. But
We're having, hey,
we're
that's going
actually
around right now.
we're actually having a mind battle.
Psychic attack.
Perry, psychic Perry.
Um, what was that movie with Stephen Strait, Sebastian Stan?
The Covenant.
The Covenant, dude. Wah, wah. Everyone,
Oh
don't watch The
God.
Covenant, but watch the final fight scene in The Covenant because they have like a psychic power type battle. And
Hmm.
every time, whereas this movie, you kind of see like a ripple effect when they make like a psychic attack or when they change anything in the world. There's just
Yeah.
kind of like ripple effect. And I'm like, okay, and like it kind of fits. It's all right for this movie, but
Hmm.
in The Covenant, it has the most weirdest like sound effect to it. When they make
Yeah.
this psychic attack, it's like wah, wah. Like what the hell is
And it's
happening?
every time. It's
And it's the
every
same one.
time. It's the same
It's
effect.
not even
Yeah.
they don't even tweak the audio. It's the same one.
Yeah.
Wah.
Yeah. It is.
Oh,
Oh, it's painful.
yeah.
Yeah. If you want lore, for everybody that enjoys lore out there, uh part of Sam lore is that I saw the trailer for that movie and I was all over it. I was like, this
Dude,
movie's
I
gonna be
remember.
amazing.
So did
It's
I.
gonna be great. And I showed a bunch of people, and they were just like, Sam, that trailer sucked. This movie looks like shit. And I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay,
I think
cool.
also that was one of the movies that was the time, man, early 2000s, late 90s, where it's like dark, kind of goth aesthetic,
Oh, 100%.
just like
Yeah.
this movie. And you
Yeah.
had The Covenant. And I mean, there's so a bunch of other ones,
Yeah.
to
I
name,
mean, like
but
Underworld is like the big example of that, you know?
Underworld's the big one. But we also
Yeah.
had, but a lot of it was also post Matrix. But
Oh, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
there was a lot before as well, I mean, maybe it kicked off with Blade. Like
Mm,
it was just that was the cool thing, lots
yeah.
of cold colors, and
Hmm.
I really dig that. X versus Sever, that was early 2000s,
Oh, geez.
remember
Yeah,
that one?
yeah, yeah.
uh uh but yeah, and there's just all these movies like that at the time. And like Dark City was one like I was always interested in, but
Hmm.
I never, as a kid, I never saw it, and as an adult I always wanted to check it out because it looked cool.
Hmm.
um I also, after I watched it, I don't know if it's on Amazon or what, but I saw the trailer for the 13th Floor. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard about this
I
movie.
remember, I don't know what movie we owned, but the trailer was on it and we'd always see it. And like I thought
Really?
it was like, yeah, I thought it was like a horror movie, so I didn't really pay
Oh,
attention to
okay.
it.
Yeah.
But I was reading up on it, it's not really. And then I was like, maybe I'll put it on my list, but everyone's saying it was bad. And the things I
Mm,
read about it, I'm like, I think this is cooler in concept,
mm.
but so it's not on my list. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought
Yeah.
that was funny. But yeah, so like so many movies of that time looked like this,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
The Crow was probably a big. What came first, The Crow or
The
Blade?
Crow. The
The
Crow.
Crow?
The Crow was 94.
Wow.
Also because I think they have it in the IMDb trivia that Alex Proyas and Brandon Lee talked a lot about like what they wanted to do after The Crow,
Mm-hmm.
and Proyas was coming up with the ideas that would eventually become this.
Yeah.
And Lee was very like taken with it. It's like, wow, that like sounds really cool. And so, there's speculation that like if he hadn't have died on set, like he
Yeah.
could have potentially been the lead for this.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
which is a thing I do want to touch on too, not for too long, but there were other names that were being floated around as the lead,
Hmm.
and the two ones that stood out to me were Johnny Depp and Tom Cruise. Tom
Interesting.
Cruise's name stopped, like like uh, like there like whatever is the thing before pre-production happens. Um, like that situation, it just stopped. Like the gear stopped turning because people were like, Tom has the script. Tom's reading the script.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, like, are we gonna now get an exuberant amount of money and, we're gonna
Hmm.
have a longer time to prep, like, do all these things? Are we gonna have to change a lot of
Yeah.
the script? Like, which, yeah. And all, but it is this interesting thing because this, one of the screenwriters, Lem Dobbs, he said that he likes that, that they didn't get Johnny Depp specifically because
Hmm.
it's like Johnny Depp, his face,
Hmm.
and so for a movie like this, you have to have a character who people can identify with as like, well, like I don't he doesn't know himself, well, I also don't know you, and
Sure.
even though like Rufus
Ooh.
Sewell had like done stuff and
Yeah.
was big over in England, like he wasn't necessarily in America, so
Yeah.
it kind of adds to that, and I do agree, like
Uh,
it is this thing where like you have these movies that have this kind of a reputation, right? Like a cult
yeah.
reputation. And I also I was thinking of Streets of Fire while also watching this.
Hmm.
So I'm like, that's also a movie that's like, I don't think you get the same movie if you have a recognizable star, you know?
That's interesting. I think for sure Johnny Depp wouldn't have worked.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like, dude, like Mission Impossible 1, Tom Cruise in this
Yeah.
movie,
Yeah.
like he had an intensity back then, you
Hmm.
know? And like this could have worked. Like
Hmm.
because, you know, Tom, not saying that Tom Cruise isn't pretty, but
Oh,
he
sure.
has that face where like he could be the killer, you
I mean,
know?
if you
And
look
I'm
at,
like,
I mean, if you look at like The Firm, which was also around this time.
yeah,
What was the other one that? Eyes Wide Shut, which is also
yeah.
like during the 90s. It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
he has that look in his eye,
He has the eyebrows and that look, you
and
know?
yeah, there's something about his composure and demeanor that you're like, yeah, he could be a killer,
Did you
you
see the
know?
trailer for Digger?
No, I haven't. I meant to watch it today, but isn't it just like for the most part a retrospective of his career?
No. They
Oh,
did a retrospective like before the trailer, like
oh,
for whatever it was.
oh,
But
okay.
I guess that whole thing is like it's all led to this. And I'm just like,
What?
I saw the trailer and I'm like, all right, it just kind of looks like it's like a modern day kind of Doctor Strange love style,
Hmm.
you know? And I'm like, okay,
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
yeah. I'm like, I really don't
Wait,
care.
Doctor Strangelove in the way that like is he playing multiple people?
No, just the fact of like it's a movie about it's a parody of everything in the government and what's going on and all this
Oh,
stuff. Yeah, you just
okay.
got to watch it. We could talk about it next week or whatever, but
Okay.
I'm just like,
Yeah, I'll watch it.
really? I'm like, okay, this is the movie you do the retrospective. You should have done the retrospective before the last Mission Impossible movie.
Right?
You know, like I don't know. I mean, like Tom Cruise looks great in this, like in what he's done. It's totally not a Tom Cruise character, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But again, this is dipping back into like the comedy, you know. This is like
Mm.
doing the Tom Cruise retrospective before Tropic Thunder, you know. It's just like
You should
really
though. Yeah, they should have.
like I love that character, but it's like this is the character you want to do the retrospective before, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the one that's gonna get him the Oscar. Like it's Digger. Like so I don't know. I'm just really not interested in it at all.
Mm.
So I know people are probably gonna eat it up when it comes out. But
I mean, when
who
the
knows?
trailer hit, like that was a bunch of my
Everyone's talking about it.
feed. Yeah, they're just like
Yeah.
cinema, like oh my
And
God,
they were
like
hyping
yeah.
this up forever, and I'm like, I didn't know this was the movie they were hyping it up for. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
All right. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. Oh well. Yeah, man, solid pick. Uh, I love the city. You know, a
hmm.
mix of like early CGI and like models.
Practical. Yeah.
I was like that opening shot, dude. You get the city and you could tell it's just like little lights on a string. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like I'm like, oh, those are supposed to be cars. I'm like, okay. But also like the opening credits is it's so they're so bad. I'm like,
Oh.
what is this, a CC movie?
Hey, I
I'm
was
like,
like, what QuickTime
jeez.
player is this? Man,
Right?
this is
I was like,
insane.
I've seen 90s movies. I grew up in the 90s. I don't
Hmm.
remember credits looking this bad. They saved the money. All the money went to the budget of the sets, dude. The sets of this movie were so cool.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah, and
damn.
like and yeah, absolutely right. Like the effects, it like there's some that you can tell are like a little wonky. It's mostly anytime they're doing like the actual like tuning, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like the blending of practical effects with the CG.
Yeah.
Um, because you also like think about it, it's like I look at the set in the image behind you and it's like that's a full set. They had that giant working like clock
Yep.
face that opens up to reveal the clock.
Yes, dude. Yeah, today
Like
it would all be on volume. Like I'm like,
yeah.
nah, nah.
Yeah.
I'm too
The
nice.
I I wish I remember who was talking about it. I think he was one of like the VFX people in the behind the scenes. But he was talking about there's a shot of after they capture John
Uh,
and they take him down, into the underworld. there's a shot from behind the little like track thing that they have, and it goes forward, and then it goes
Mhm.
down into like the tunnel, and the camera follows.
Right.
That was all done. I don't know what scale. It's like 1/8 scale or something like that.
Mm.
Um, because they needed a shot. They needed a connecting shot to have, like, oh, like he's in the going
Hmm.
down on this thing. Um, so he built, he goes into details like, yeah, like I laid out the track, it had to be bigger than the railroad track that we used for the
Hmm.
monorail. Built out like the rest of the little like set dressing, got a camera, stuck it on. I had to get special film to put it on, put it in there,
Wow.
wind it up,
Yeah.
and then did it, and then went
Wow.
and that shot, it seamlessly blends, when you get it, and it is just this really quick, like 2-3 second shot
Yeah.
of the camera following the rail and then going over.
Yeah. That's a good
And
shot.
yeah, and he was so proud of it. And then he ended that story by saying like, and today they would just do it all CG.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the fact that I got to do something like that was really cool. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like that's the thing, like, and that's the thing that sucks about Proyas now
Hmm.
being like full into AI filmmaking and all
Yeah.
of this, because you can hear it in the behind the scenes, like whether it was a cost saving measurement or not, but you hear it with everybody who's talking about it. Like they enjoyed working on this because it
Yeah.
was so weird, because it was so out there, and they
Hmm.
wanted to make as much of it as real as possible. They wanted to physically build these things and do it as possible.
Yeah.
There's as the buildings are popping up, you see like part of the structure behind, I think it's Mr. Book, like their leader. Part of the structure has like buildings carved into like a spinning mechanism, and that's all practical.
Yeah.
And then you get to the bigger effect shot and you see it and it looks a little more cartoony, but
Hmm.
then but you can see that like they still built part of it. Like
Yeah.
they're working off of something, and it looks beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. This whole movie, man, it looks great. Absolutely enjoyed it. I love the style.
Hmm.
Um, it just I was watching it, I was having I was getting so many ideas for like other stories just set in this like dark, dark world, you know.
Hmm.
I love the strangers, the way they look, how creepy they are. I love the way they fly, you
Yeah.
know, the way they're just so still, they just so silently float and then they go forward. I'm like, no sound effects at all. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's almost creepier, you know. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that's so cool. I love how the little kid gets sucked out at the end. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
What you get for being
dude,
creepy, biting people's fingers, you
yeah.
freak.
I was watching it and I'm like, man, I wonder if this is like in any way inspired our other favorite dark story, Dark,
Dark.
where you had the three, you know, the three guys, just one person, but the three of them, you know, in the
Yeah.
third season. Uh, I was like, man,
I was thinking about that too, especially like a lot of like the spiral imagery and how
mm,
like that really like connects through a lot of things. Like John's fingerprint changes into a spiral.
yeah,
There's the maze, just the whole concept of like the maze, as like
yeah.
Sutherland's character is like
I
leading the rats through. I'm like, yeah.
like I don't want to. We're already wrapping up, so I don't want to really get into it. But like,
Oh, sure.
I was really bummed about that climax. Not that like the end of the movie. I thought the end of the movie was great, but that whole like final fight. You know, I'm like, oh man. Um, I really wished they had spent more time on the doctor and the memories he put in his head. You
Yeah.
know, because it's kind of just through this kind of really quick flashback. We don't even get a full frame of screen time. It's
Hmm.
always just has that weird effect on it. It's just super fast montage, and Kiefer Sutherland is just talking in different moments of the guy's life.
Hmm.
I'm like, dude, this you probably would have had to cut other stuff because I think the movie link was just long enough. But this should have been like a Star Trek Generations thing, where like, no, we stop and we're going into the Nexus for like
Hmm.
15 minutes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, that would have been really cool to see that. Like, we actually see Kiefer Sutherland showing up in young John's life.
Memories. Yeah.
Yeah, and guiding him through. And it's technically just one monologue, but we kind of see it broken up, and then we see the fire, and we see, and then we see like, oh, he's Uncle Carl, you
Hmm.
know? I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, like that should have hit more. Cause also at the end as well, like he just asks him real quick, like, hey, where's my wife? Yeah, she's not your wife anymore. He's like, okay, blah blah blah. I'm leaving. He just leaves him there. I was like, dude, you have those memories now.
Hmm.
Like, that's your uncle. That's your Uncle Carl. Like, I kind of wish he was like, come with me.
Hmm.
Something like that to
Yeah.
indicate like, oh, the memories are they did stick.
Yeah.
Um, Also the idea of getting one of the strangers and basically turning him into the John that was the killer.
Hmm.
I really wish they did more with that because I'm thinking I'm like, well, if the first John it didn't work, why is it working with the stranger?
Hmm.
Is it because he is detached because he doesn't know what it's like to be human? But like I kind of like that talk he has with what's Jennifer Colony's what's her name?
Emma.
Emma, yeah, where he's
Yeah.
talking to Emma about how you don't appreciate the little things and all that stuff and the
Hmm.
memories that belong to you. I thought that was a really cool moment for him. I was like, oh dude, that is a really kind of twisted character. To
Hmm.
think about that, like none of those memories belong to him, but now he has it.
Yeah.
And he's like no other stranger now.
Hmm.
And I kind of wish he had stood out like that. And I would have loved to see some of John Murdoch come out in him,
Mm.
like what if he can't kill him? Because we never really get that shot. They fight a little bit, but I'm like, what if he
Yeah.
gets a killing shot, but then he can't take it? And that's where he gets his answer. He's like, huh.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
dude.
I could see
And
that.
that would have been really cool too. Like in that final scene where John tells him, he's like, you're looking for your answers in the wrong place. They're not there. They're not up
Hmm.
here. And he leaves. I would have done it. It would just be like he would have offered his hand. He's like, come with me.
Mm.
And then fake stranger John will go with him, and then he experiences Shell Beach,
Yeah.
and then he sees the heat and sun, and he's dying anyway. So he's kind of just there and his last moments as he dies, and like he kind of starts to get it,
Hmm.
even
Yeah.
in a way that humans don't really get it.
Yeah.
Because he's unique. And then we play that song from the end of Mortal Kombat. The original Mortal Kombat. People have been putting that song on other movies. Have you seen
Yeah.
that? I was
Yeah.
like,
You've sent me some.
yeah. I was like, that's a song, and then he kind of just like dissolves like dust in the wind, kind of like
Yeah.
the alien. And then that's where Anna shows up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, dude, hell yeah. And then
Yeah.
that ending kind of reminded me a little bit of it had like a Truman Show quality. The way everything is like looks super, super like almost magical. Like you could tell it's not real.
Hmm.
I was like,
Yeah. It's
damn.
super blue, super bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
the actual beach looked cool when he was making it, and
Hmm.
like the lighthouse popped up and the houses popped up. I'm like, dude, that's what people want AI to be, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe one day, but I was like, damn,
Nah.
dude, yeah. There's this game. Oh man, I don't remember what it's called. Uh, it's something weird like Pelagia or something like that.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a castle building game. You
Hmm.
literally just building homes and castles and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but you're literally just like that scene. You're just pulling it out of the ground and it kind of builds itself. And
Oh,
then it's like,
interesting.
hmm, I want this corner to be round. So you just make it round and that changes the shape of the bricks and the windows. And I'm like,
Ooh, I
it looks
love that.
so cool. And it's such a small team that made this game. I got to find out what it is. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, it looks so cool. So that's essentially the end of Dark City. That's what that video game is. Wow.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and then while you're playing the Mortal Kombat song, you see everyone get to enjoy the sun for the first time,
Mm,
even
yeah.
if they don't realize it's the first time. So, But all that stuff, I love that. I love when he was talking to the detective. He's like, "When's the last time you saw the sun?" He's like, I don't know." He's like, "No, actually, your actual last memory
Hmm.
today was it last week?" He's just like, hmm. Just
Yeah.
those little things, you know? And then the little moment before they rescue him, the detective and Emma, they're just in the car and he talks about his mother giving him the accordion, but he can't remember when. He's
Yeah.
like, "You think I remember that?"
Yeah.
And then Emma just asks, "What's
What's going
happening?
on?
Yeah, what's going on?" She's like, "I don't know." We're like,
Hmm.
oh, dude, it's
Hmm.
like a Twilight Zone episode. Or this could have been like a Doctor Who episode. Like, it's such a cool sci-fi premise, you
Hmm.
know?
I feel like they kind of go into it in the Incredible, or sorry,
The
in
Incredibles?
no, not the Incredibles, Invincible.
Mm.
Um, in the Invincibles comic, I think they go into this. I don't know if they've done it
Hmm.
in the show yet. But the like Batman analog that they have,
Oh yeah.
um, the city that he's, you know, the protector of, the defender of, a battle with a villain like decades ago left the city under like this weird,
Mm.
um I don't think it's a spell, it's like technology or whatever, but the city is perpetually in darkness, so it's
Yeah.
always nighttime. And that's what I was thinking about here too. I'm like, the Batman kind of had that feel as well, that like, you know, and you kind of get that some with like the Burton movies too.
Hmm.
But like just that, yeah, just that idea of like, and I had been thinking about that too, like for my own kind of like story that I wanted to write, just like what is it like to just perpetually be in the darkness, like
Hmm.
at night? Like how does that affect people? You know, and yeah, it kind of feels like this movie, you know, where it's like, yeah, you have everybody's questioning, you know, and it's a
Hmm.
smaller moment, but when John asks Uncle Carl, it's like, is that the time? It's like, yeah, of course. It's run since I bought it. It's like, how can
Hmm.
it be nighttime already? What happened to the day? How can I miss that? Oh, you're just tired. It's like, no, that's the thing. Like that's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that. Yeah, that's just something I'm fascinated with, that like I kind of wish this movie did more, even though it's not necessarily like a key part of it.
Hmm.
There was a part of me that was like, I almost want to recut this whole movie to just be from John's perspective. Don't cut out to anything else. Like, don't cut to the
Right.
strangers like doing their thing. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you can insert like where it makes sense, but like I would
Hmm.
love to see that version of like just experiencing. Because how crazy would that be that like you get like this character wakes up, doesn't know who he is, like freaking
Hmm.
out, and then what happens when he sees everybody fall asleep?
Yeah.
And then the buildings start to
Yeah.
grow out of the ground. Like how crazy would that be? You know?
Yeah. I we would lose out on Emma and the detective stuff.
Yeah, we really
But
would.
yeah, I know what you mean. And here's the thing, like we get to see the world from their perspective as well. And
Hmm.
it's like, and they're in it, whereas John's already he starts the story kind of on the outside of it, looking
Yeah.
in. You know,
Yeah.
so it's really interesting to see it already having this context, you know.
Hmm.
And yeah, man, like I really like that. And then I like the detective who's going crazy and what he's
Hmm.
telling the main detective. You know, I'm just like, dude, this is rad.
Yeah.
I kind of want to remake it. Let's do this again. So yeah. And
Yeah.
I do like the sets. Everything looked great. I love Uncle Carl's place. You know, it
Oh
kind of
yeah.
looked like this little haven, you know. It's like it kind of had the most life in it of all the sets in this movie, you
Yeah.
know, because it looked lived in, and you could tell like a kid lived there at one point. You know, I loved his bedroom, and I was like,
Hmm.
wow. I was like, yeah, man, that's that's wild. So,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, okay, I have some ideas. How do we make a movie like this? You know, where it's all indoors, it's all in the darkness. I love it. So,
Hmm.
yeah, man. Yeah. And the goldfish survived. So,
There you go.
yeah.
There you go.
So,
That's how you know he's not the killer. He
yeah,
saved the
exactly.
goldfish.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us hit us up at Lost Legacies podcast at gmail.com. Let us know what you thought of Dark City.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, don't know what we're talking about, but Dad well, I hope he's going to be joining us. I haven't asked.
Oh.
Dad will be joining us next week, come hell or high water, which maybe it's been raining nonstop over here.
Yeah, y'all are getting a lot of rain, so
All right, Sam, let's roll for our next movie.
I got my list up.
So 2 weeks after the Dad episode, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to watch a new movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all warmed up.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Just crazy because okay.
I think was that it last time?
Yeah, that was it last time. I just moved this because what I do is I have so many others, is that
Fill
like
in.
yeah, I take out the movie from last time, which was one battle after another, and I replace it.
Okay, so
Um,
this is brand new to the list.
I don't know how to pronounce the name of this movie. Okay, this is gonna be crazy.
We have no idea what we're watching. We can't even say it.
Buckle up. And I mean that in the best possible way, because after Dad's episode that he will be there for, we are watching 2012's Iga, which I won't say anything except that it's from the same director of RRR.
Oh my god. Okay, EGA?
EEGA.
EEGA.
Yeah. Don't
All
look up
right.
anything else. Don't look up the
Okay.
synopsis. Don't look at anything.
I won't. I'll see
Yeah.
where I can find this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I just put this on the list because I was like, I completely forgot about this movie. We need to watch
Wow.
it. It'll be crazy when we get to that next year, was my thought. Like, oh, cool.
Well, yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, buckle up, everyone.
Go watch Iga. Let us know what you thought.
Mhm.
Lost Legacies podcast at gmail.com. Until next time, get lost.
Get lost.
Wow.